$10,000 in that same 12-month time span. And he has a goal to help 10,000 families generate $5,000 per month in residual income. Okay. What I love most about this gentleman is he's the definition of integrity and character. And he's one of the only people that's ever been and done every single thing he ever committed to me that he would be or do. So let me get some hearts. Let me get some 4 5s. Light up the chat and help me welcome to the line the GOAT, the greatest of all time, also known as the people's champ, Mr. Samuel Bean.
Boy, I tell you, you must like seeing me smile. What's going on, Carla? How we doing today?
Amazing, sir. We kind of color coordinated unintentionally, sir.
Yes, the black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. That's all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, GM out of Orlando, Florida, by way of St. Louis, Missouri, Mrs. Carly Gwynn. As a matter of fact, Carly is actually a sneeze away from breaking another GM in her organization. So she out there grinding and getting it in. And I'm excited about what's going on today, guys. We just have shifted gears in a lot of ways. As a matter of fact, Omi, what you guys are going to start seeing is a lot of things that we've been promising, for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I know after Saturday morning's crash camp, Miss Winnie got on my row. She jumped on my street, said, "Hey, you promised us the P5, man. Where it's at?" so y'all saw it today. Omi jumped on it again, went out there and made it beautiful for y'all. Yeah, and so that's out there. You guys are going to start seeing a whole lot of other things out there. You guys start seeing the banners pop up today. We had the post and profile on the Facebook group in the SCF group on Facebook. As you see, that name has changed now. The banner has changed as well. But you see the post where now each and every last one of you guys can not just go get your own banner when you go GM, VP. All you got to do is go to the GM factory post and you can pull anybody's banner, out of that post. And so that's where we're going to transition the write-ups over there as well. So you'll get a chance to see both the banner and the write-ups for the people who are out there getting it and grinding. But before we just continue to dive off into all this good stuff, I definitely want to say welcome to the Millionaire Mindset Call, guys. This is what we do every Monday night without fail. You don't have to wonder if we're going to have it. One thing I know is that we'll be having it. We will be here. We just don't know if you will. Okay. And so make sure you put this on your calendar, 9:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. There's no place you should rather be. Okay. If you are looking to change your mindset to get $1 million results. Okay. And I have people who will say, "Hey, well, I was putting somebody in the system." So you think putting somebody in the system is more important than learning how to become a millionaire? I was doing a 3-way or lifeline. I was doing a presentation. So you think, okay, becoming a millionaire, is not as important than making 15% on an enrollment. Hey guys, you got to make sure you get your priorities together. You got to make sure you put some things in perspective. Okay. This is the thing that I have had in my life for the past, I would say 18 years, going on 19 years. The first 13 was from my mentor, and I picked up the mantle and I ran with it once a week. We did a Millionaire Mindset, his Millionaire Mentorship Call. And I knew how much it impacted me and changed my life. So we turned it to the Millionaire Mindset Call, and I made that a priority. Okay. And so if you are, again, serious about evolving into somebody that's extremely wealthy or increasing your financial thermostat, this is where you should make sure that you are at every Monday night. Make sure your team is here as well. Okay. But for those of you who don't know us, this is your first time, I want to say welcome to this simulcast, guys. Welcome to this transmission. And this is the Foresight family. This is where we know that you're rich before you do, right? This is where we want to make sure you come here every week to get equipped and put yourself in a position where you can making millions look easy. Okay? And that's the thing. That's the goal, right? And so we have what we call Project Pride. It's our mission. And the mission is simple. To produce residual income in a down economy. Okay? And then the last thing, the agenda, our definition of purpose for the next 24 months is to help 10,000 families, Project 10,000, help 10,000 families, right, get to $5,000 a month in residual reoccurring income. Okay? And so that's what we want to do, and we want to do that globally. That's what we expect to do. And I'll be honest with you, one of the companies that we've invested with, amongst others, is going to help us get there in lightning speed. Okay, it's going to give us a shortcut. It's going to cut that curve, that growth curve and wealth curve down for us. All right. And so this is where you get to the front of the line, though. Okay, this is when you come in here and learn how to put everything together. This is how you get to the point to where you're not just at $5,000 a month. Now you're helping other people do it, which means that you're compounding your earnings and returns. Okay. So with that being said, again, just excited to be back here. This is one of the things that I do. I love getting in front of everybody and having a conversation and with you guys about life and money.
Recording in progress.
We have a really good topic, and the topic is basically giving yourself a $1 million makeover without hiring a life coach. Okay? Because this is the thing I understand about today. This is an information age, and people who know how to put websites together, know how to put branding together. They know how to get you to put a credit card online. And now you have people who need life coaching, hiring people who need life coaching. Yeah. And so that's a big deal. See, here, as I've made millions of dollars, not just for myself, but for other people, and I don't charge you a dime to be here. So that's the thing. Millionaires understand that you don't get paid from a class, and some people do. But I do believe that those who can't, they teach, and those who teach, they can't. So when you look at, one of those things when we looked at high school, looked at college, how many of you know that most of you who go on and become millionaires and entrepreneurs who are extremely successful, 4, 5, and 6, figure weekly earners or monthly earners, you make more than the people who taught you in high school. You make more than the people who taught you in college, right? And so you want to learn from the people who've actually done it, not just for themselves, but people who've been able to duplicate themselves, through other people. And so, again, that's just one of those things. What you do, you give back, and you go out here, you grow your audience. You go out here, you grow, your teams, your groups, and the people who you'll invite into, these type of investment clubs. So the more and more you pour into people, guys, again, the more and more loyal people you'll have around you, and the bigger impact that you can make. So with that being said, I know Carly talked about the cruises. So guys, again, that's going to be a real big deal. Cruising with the Beans, guys. We are excited about, anytime and every time we get a chance to take vacations with you guys and just let our hair down and relax and having experiences where, we can recharge ourselves, and come back and get right back at it. But just chilling with you, your families, your kids, your spouses, and your teams, getting to know people on that side is important to us. Okay? And so look forward to doing that. Like we were in Cancun about a month ago, as a matter of fact, in July, and just the dinner alone, without the yacht, the dinner alone was amazing. I had the private chef, everybody came over, had a great time, had a great night. But it was just being able to sit down and answer questions, have conversations, and meet the families of people who travel from all around the world, Guam, Canada, Jamaica, different places who came to that event. It made it special for everybody. And so we want to keep on doing that, and we want to make sure we are growing our audiences every time we do it. Okay? But when you look at tonight's topic, and I'm going to talk about a couple of different things. This is coming out of the Book of Bean. This is just, some things, some notes and things that I have, that I want to share with you guys, some nuggets, tips, pointers, whatever you want to call them. But when you look at what should be at the top of your head, at the top of your journal, is this: you have to create the blueprint to manufacture discipline before you can manufacture wealth and lifestyle. Okay. You have to create the blueprint to manufacture discipline before you can manufacture wealth and lifestyle. Okay. You hear people every 1st of January, people be like, what? New year, new me, right? And that's the lie that they tell themselves every year. They think it's as easy as waking up, having a New Year's resolution, a New Year's resolve, or or whatever you want to call it. You're making this affirmation out to the public. You're putting it on social media where everybody can see it, thinking that's going to hold you accountable, and it doesn't work. It never has, and it never will. Okay. The thing about people who are extremely wealthy, the thing about people who are millionaires and billionaires, they make decisions, right? And then they make the decision work. They don't care anything about making the wrong decision. That's what broke people do. Okay. What they do is they make the decision, and they make the decision work. They make the decision, and then they go to work to make sure it's the right decision, right? And so that's what's important. And so now we're going to talk about how to manufacture discipline. We're going to talk about how to manufacture habits and things like that. But before we do that, this is the thing I want you guys, this is just one of those real quick nuggets here. These are 5 things, guys, that are costing you money. 5 simple things, guys. Again, 5 simple things that are costing you money. Okay. First and foremost, 95% of the people walking the face of earth out there, if they can get it the easy way, they will. And that's because they have a lottery mentality. Okay. You just say most people have a lottery mentality. They have a something for nothing mentality. They have a just add water mentality, a microwave effect mentality. It's like, you know what, I'll just put my money in here and I'm gonna walk away and it'll grow, it'll do whatever it's supposed to do, right? It's like you bought a lottery ticket. Doesn't matter how much money you put in, $500, $5,000, $50,000. Basically, you just say, hey, look, we're going to put it in here. We're not going to monitor. We're not going to learn about this thing. We're not going to do anything at all. We're just going to sit in there and let it do what it do. Okay. And then we're going to let the people who sponsored us, we're going to let them take all the responsibility, for my investment. Okay. Remember, as the people who introduced you to, the opportunity, they're not financial advisors. So why would you allow people who are not financial advisors to monitor your money once you put it into the system? Why would you allow them to take responsibility for your money, right? For your wealth, for your earnings and everything else in between, right? And it's your obligation, guys, your personal obligation. You have a fiduciary responsibility to do the things that are required for your money, not somebody else. And so you can't have a lottery mentality, but most people do. That's 1. 2, and I'll go through these real quick. Not personally developing yourselves. Okay. What you do is you spend the most time learning the stuff that's most important to you. And the thing about, industries like this is people would love to make a lot of money, but they don't like the process that they have to go through to do it. They don't want to read anymore. I'm out of high school. I don't want to read no more. They don't want to listen, to books on tapes, audios. They don't want to listen to calls or presentations or trainings. You don't want to personally develop yourself and learn new skills to make you more valuable to society and to the market, right? You just say, you know what? I am good just like I am, not understanding that wherever your financial thermostat is set, that's where you're pretty much going to end up at. Because even if you make money, what's going to happen, because you're not personally developed, that money will leave you one day. Okay. It'll leave you because you'll get rid of it. Self-sabotage is a real thing. Okay. So if you don't personally develop yourself, you don't learn about money, you don't learn about how to scale money, you don't learn about how to make money, you don't learn about the things that you're supposed to do for yourself, to make sure you're more valuable, not just to society, but to yourself, your family, and your situation. As you're what you're telling yourself is, I hope I fail. Okay. Next thing is taking your notes for granted. As when you look at your journals, right? And if you don't have journals, guys, go get one. Okay. People who don't, journal notes and write down the things that are important, and you leave your wealth to your memory, again, that's dangerous. And it was the thing I don't know if I even put it up the other day, but somebody sent me a message, said, hey, I lost my 12 word seed phrase. And I wasn't being facetious or anything. I didn't tell this person this directly, but I'm thinking to myself, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? You said you lost it. Why would you do that? So when you have something that's valuable, okay, You're not going to leave it up to chance, right? When I have, at the end of the night, every night, don't matter, how many times I've done it before I go to bed every night, I walk around the house and check every lock, make sure every lock is on, make sure lock is locked and make sure every light is on, because I have 2 kids here and a beautiful wife that I value. My seed phrases, they're all written down, they're all copied, they're put in different places and safes, and for all 17 of my accounts and other things I have seed phrases for, because they're important, they're valuable to me. Right? These are just notes. These are things, again, we're talking about all notes, right? Because how you do anything is how you do everything. And you write stuff down, or you say, I'll get back to it, or you'll screenshot stuff and not understanding that, guys, things happen to your phones, right? So you gotta, when you look at that seed phrase is not as important as the notes in your journal. Because if you lose a seed phrase, that money is gone forever, right? But if you lose a journal, that journal that got you to the point where you made millions of dollars, you made hundreds of thousands of dollars, or you made tens of thousands of dollars, if you lose that journal, that is the same thing that could have got it right back to you. You lost that too, but that's more important, because that journal could bring back everything you lost and some by losing that seed phrase. The people who are successful, guys, they have moments just like you do. They're human. They make mistakes, right? They're not perfect. And when they make a mistake, they learn from it. They have an emotion that's tied to it. And the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that they don't let that emotion linger. Okay. They don't let it ruin their day. It might ruin a moment, but they won't give it an hour, won't give it a half a day. They won't give it a whole day, because they understand that it's time to go back to work and make it back up. Most people who have journals, okay, the last time they opened their journal up was the last time they actually put notes in it. Like Monday night Millionaire Mindset call. We have people on here every Monday night. And the last time you open up your journal from the last Millionaire Mindset call was the last time you wrote in it. Okay? We way too busy. Right? We don't prioritize going back and reflecting. Okay. You got to make time for your notes. You got to prioritize going back and looking at what you wrote. It would be a shame for somebody to make more money off of your journal than you did because they found it and you didn't use it. When they found it, they saw the blueprint, they saw the roadmap to wealth, and you wrote it out all the way, beautifully highlighted and everything, circled everything, underlined everything, and you put it right there like ducks in a row, but you never ever went back and reflected on it. But somebody else found your journal, they did exactly what you wrote in there, and they made millions and you didn't. All right. Take your notes serious, guys. You can make a fortune. You can come back, guys, and you can come back in 24 months from now and be a specialist. You can come back 24 months from now and be an expert. You can come back 24 months from now and do master classes, right? You can be a public speaker. You can write a book. Guys, you can do a whole lot if you just followed your notes and mastered your notes a lot. Things open up for you, okay? Another thing is this, number 4, and these are no huge order, nothing like that, but refusing to qualify for wealth in your financial opportunities. So a lot of you qualify to have your job because you went through your training program, and you do your remedial training, and you do your anything and everything that you have to do to qualify to keep your job, you do. Anything that you have to do to qualify to keep your licenses as independent contractors, you do. Anything that you have to qualify, to be a great parent, stuff like that, a lot you do. But when it comes to things that can make you rich, things that can make you wealthy, things that can put you in a whole entirely different tax bracket, when it comes to that stuff, you refuse to qualify for those opportunities. And remember, in these situations, your only job, guys, is to learn about the company, learn about your services and how to protect your position of investment, right? And it's not that you can't, it's either you don't need to because you have a good life. And we already know that the enemy to a great life is a good one, okay? And you don't need that, you don't see the value in it, right? Or you're too fearful of it, or you just have an inflated ego. Because some of you guys, You believe that you are, because you've made millions of dollars in other things, or hundreds of thousands of dollars in other things, and you've grown groups, in other companies, you believe that you don't have to relearn anything or learn anything new at all. And I'm just telling you, you shoot yourself in the foot. That anything worth having is worth mastering. I don't care what the company is. I have to learn a new presentation anytime we have a new investment. And I shouldn't be the only person who have to learn it. Your money is not my money. I can't spend your money. So why should I have to learn it for you? But I do. Right? But when I stop doing presentations for you, your money stops. At least the addition of people coming into your organizations. What happens if we didn't have a presentation team? 𝐭𝐲𝐬 didn't exist, but they had a presentation flip chart. Would you just put your money in and not recruit anybody? Right? But I'm talking to my builders. I'm not talking about to my flat out investors, my set it and forget it people. I'm talking to the people who want to go out there and build portfolios. Who would build your business if everybody who built your business already went away? Okay. So now you would do what you would already have, what you've always done in your life. You would actually go out there and do what was required. The only reason you don't is because it's being done, right? So master it, guys. Go out here and really qualify to be a millionaire, qualify to be a seven-figure earner, right? Qualify to make $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a day. Stop hoping for it, stop praying for it, and go and do it. Last thing is, lack of meditation. Lack of meditation. A lot of you guys don't know how to treat yourself. A lot of the time, you don't have any quiet time for yourself. You don't have an opportunity for you to just sit down in a dark place or a quiet place, close your eyes and think. And you don't have to close your eyes, guys. You just got to have you some you time. Shut the rest of the world off. Shut the phone off. Shut the TV off. Shut the social media off, and just sit down and think. Just sit down and relax and watch how ideas flow to you. Watch how clarity comes to you. Watch how answers and ideas come your way, and watch how much smarter you appear to yourself. A lot of you guys have so much information going into your brains on a daily basis, and we're talking about stuff that you don't even know about that's hitting you up. You got thousands of positive and negative stuff that's hitting you all through the day. Social media, family, radio, TV, all kinds of stuff. You're being programmed, and that stuff is just going into your spirit, going into your system, and you wake up every day wondering why you can't think straight. Like today, and I just say when we were, in one of our last endeavors where, things didn't go the way we wanted to, and they went silent on us. Today, after I rode my bike, after I just shut my phone off for an hour first, I went on a bike ride just for an hour thinking. Then I went swimming for about 45 minutes thinking, and I just sat there after I showered, and I just for about an hour and thought, what happened from then to now? I got so caught up in making sure that everybody else was taking care of my obligation and being a slave to my responsibilities to other people, and how me protecting other people, that I got out of order, right? I stopped giving myself my quality time, and I'm like, man, I need to do that again, because there's a lot of answers that I've been going so fast, 100 miles an hour, trying to put people in a position where they can make money back, or they can go out here and double money and scale money and everything else with opportunities and learning this presentation and that presentation, that I'm like, man, I made some decisions that had I gave myself some quiet time, had I gave myself some meditation time, I wouldn't have made. And man, had I gave myself some quiet time, some meditation time, we would have had better results. We would have been in action a lot faster in certain situations. We wouldn't have any hesitation, any pauses. And I know for a fact, if I'm having these things going on in my life as the leader, you're definitely having them going on in yours. You're taking greater losses, right? But there's, again, the ultimate loss is loss when you have other people's lives on. And so I'm like, you know what? I got to practice what I preach. Let me stop being a slave to the phone. Let me stop picking up, the phone every time somebody calls and It's just taking up the time. There are things I gotta do. So that's the things I gotta think about. Okay. I need time to think, need time and these are just things that I want to, these are 5 things, guys. You spend some time with yourself. A lot of us are strangers to ourselves. A lot of us are neglecting ourselves, and that's not a good thing. You know, you want to be healthy mentally, right? And emotionally. So those are just 5 things that'll cost you money, with 5 things that'll put you in a bad place, guys. Okay. And so when you look at one of the things that one of the best ways to go out there and just turn everything around, and it's not a speedboat unless you make it a speedboat. You can turn it into a speedboat, just depending on how dedicated you are and how committed you are. You can turn the thing right around, and like a flip the switch. You know, with some of you who are not as disciplined, it might be like turning around a Titanic, but the goal is to get it turned around. Okay, from poverty thinking to wealth mentality, from poverty and self-sabotaging habits to wealth creating habits, and you know, that type of a thing. And the best way to do it, guys, is to create micro habits. It is the best way to do it. It never gets old, right? And a lot of people, you know, people who want to stop smoking, you know, most people who fail, they try by quitting cold turkey. It takes a special person or a special situation to stop smoking cold turkey. It takes a decision, guys. It's got to be a strong one. Same thing with eating. But guess what? It takes the same special person, the same wherewithal to stop being broke. It takes the same decision, same commitment. A habit is a habit. A thought is a thought, positive or negative. The question is, to what length are you willing to go to change it? That. For me, you got 1 life to live, and if I spend my whole entire life changing it, I'm on a mission. As long as it changes at some point, some people, again, you got 35 years old, 45 years old, 55 years old, you think, you know what, I don't have enough time to change. And you can't, some of you believe that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, you know, and all this other stuff, all the other broke language you use, you know, this is who I am, this is who I wake up with, this is, guys, we have to make, you know, some decisions. We got to make some changes. Okay. And so when you look at, you know, the micro habits, and I'll just go through a couple of notes here. There are certain things that you can do, like give an example for losing weight. People say, you know what, I'm gonna lose weight. This is what I'm gonna do. And you go and you write all this stuff down, you're gonna stop eating. And 2 weeks later, 2 days later, you're eating it. Right? This is what I'm gonna do at my home gym, right? And you got push-ups, sit-ups, you got curls, I'm walking, I'm gonna ride the bike, you know, and then you get distracted, you self-sabotage, and you don't do any of that stuff for a while, right? And instead of doing, like I said, well, you know what, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna invest X, Y, and Z amount of money. I'm gonna put $5,000 in here. I'm gonna go put this out of the account. Next thing you know, by the time you get the $5,000 out the account, $2,000, I'm gonna put $2,000 over here on this person. Then I'll just make it back up. I'm gonna put the $3,000 in there and just make the $2,000 up that I spent on this purse back up with my investment. Right? These are decisions that people make real time, real life, and we're talking about this even more, and a lot of it's even worse. But the things that I learned that when I actually went on my weight loss journey, and I didn't do it with eating a whole lot different. I just say, you know, I'm just not gonna eat to 12, and I'm not gonna eat after 8, fasting period. 1, 2. When I plan on working out, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my workout clothes right there by at the end of the bed, and when I get up, I'm gonna put those on. Even if it's go to the bathroom, put them on, and then I'm gonna get down on the floor and I'm gonna do 5 push-ups. And I said I was gonna do 50. I could do 50, but I said I'm gonna do 5, because if I get down to do 5, I get down to do 5, knock 5 out. Guess what I'm gonna do? 45, 50. If I stop at 40, I'm okay, because I said I was gonna do 5. Janie, I already did more than I said I was gonna do, right? So I didn't cheat myself, even though I could do 50, 60. If I say I'm gonna do 5, I do 40, I'm good. right? If I say I'm gonna go around the block one time on my bike and I go around the whole entire neighborhood and take me an hour to get back, it's just getting on the treadmill, taking the first couple of steps, right? It's just getting on a call. So you know what? I get on one call a week. That's all I'm gonna get on. Next thing you know, who knows? You might get on 2 or 3 or 4 calls a week. You know, I'm just gonna make one phone call to one family member a day, you know, and then tell them about what we got going on. Next thing you know, you get on the phone, you're making 3 or 4 or 5 phone calls or 4 or 5 people a day. It's just the thing that people have that works against them, you know, the most is you don't have the will to start, period. You give yourself these monumental goals and you look up at those goals and say, you know what, that's too big, or it's too high, or it's too hard. Start with the small stuff, right? So if you just read, even when you wake, when I meditate sometime, like before I meditate, I'll read a book. And I say, you know, I'm gonna read, not a book, but I'll read a couple of pages. So I'm gonna read a couple of pages, read a couple of chapters, and it become a couple of pages. You know what? I'm gonna find this 5-minute or 10-minute audio that I'm gonna listen to. And next thing you know, I listen to 4 or 5 different audios. Right? Just start with start with the minute. Start with the smallest action that you can take to create bigger and better actions, more and more quality actions. Remember, if you're 25 years old, 35 years old, 50 years old, you are where you are, exactly where you made an appointment to be. You are exactly where you conditioned yourself to be. So if it took you years to get there, it's going to take you some years to reprogram yourself. Okay. And it should be worth it. It should be. When I say, I remember my wife should tell you, my other house, 2,500 square feet, small house. And I wake up and I look up and I see the ceiling too close to me. We gotta get another house. The ceiling is way too close to me. And she just bust out laughing. And it's like, I need to get a pool in the backyard. She said, well, we need to get a pool at the other house. I said, we need to hurry up and get another house then because I need a pool. You know, and so it's just all these, I'm looking at the house. I'm like, I can't entertain people here. We need a bigger, you know, living room. We need a bigger, and I'm going around the house and just looking at all the things that needs to change in a new house. Going upstairs, we don't have a media room up here. We need a media room. And so these are the things, like this is just for me, motivate myself. Now, what do I have to do? I have to go out here and I have to get my income to this amount of money, but I have to do these small things to get the money started. Right? I got to go out here and really and truly do presentation. Like last week, it's hard for me to do a presentation that I haven't mastered. And it's not hard because I'm scared. It's hard because I don't want to deliver a bad product. But Thursday, I did a presentation anyway. It was a semi-presentation, little conversation, but I had to do something just to get it started. And I put myself at risk, which is not a big risk at all, but I put myself in harm's way just to make sure I got it started. Okay? And so when you look at my sacrifices, what are your sacrifices? What are you doing for your personal goals? Because your goals are not mine, even though your goals are a part of my goal, but they're personal to you. What are you doing? You know, what sacrifices are you making? You know, what changes are you making to actually get to your goals? Right? The mind is set up in a way, guys, where anytime and every time you need to do something that's going to change, you know, how you behave, your mind kicks in and it forces you to self-sabotage, and it forces you to do things that you know for a fact you shouldn't be doing, and you know that, but you still do it anyway. You'll sit down and you'll get ready to type, and you say, you know, right before I type, I'm gonna play this game real quick, you know, Candy Crush. See, Barb know what I'm talking about. That big smile, that big laugh, you know what I'm talking about. We all human, we all do it, because chess is my thing. I get done, get ready to take some notes, and you know what? Let me play a game of chess. And this is what I say: get my mind right, right. And next thing you know, I'm 5, 6, 7 games of chess in, and this is what I do: I win a game, and so you know what? I'm hot. Let me go ahead and win. Let me see if I can win another one real quick. And next thing you know, I done won 4 or 5 games in a row, and I'm 2 or 3 hours in. and I'd have messed up, I'd have killed 2 or 3 hours of time playing chess. But we do that all the time, guys. That's just something that y'all can relate to, but that we all do it in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it be waking up early to go to work, work out rather, or doing something that we need to do for our business. We all self-sabotage. Okay. So we want to make sure we actually start figuring out what it is, one, that we need to do. And two, what are the obstacles that we self-impose? Because none of this stuff that we're talking about today has anything to do with anybody but you. What do we got to get done? And what am I doing to stop it? What am I personally doing to stop it? So when you look at the reflection, like me and Rich talked, last week, and he's like, you know what? Hey, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready. Had some things going on. And you know what? That's done. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's get it. And they've been grinding. Right? Same thing with a lot of different people. We all been through some things. We all go through things. And we've been in an investment club where we've had some ups and downs with some people and some companies. But you got to give people a chance to get through what they're going through. But, as somebody who is in the investment club, when you have somebody that's looking out for you, you got to do your part too, because, people are here for you. And people shouldn't have to beg you to help you. You got to get out your way so we can go out here and do some big things. Because at the end of the day, guys, this is what's happening. A lot of people, since August 1st, we put about 300 investors in play, on the books here. And what'll happen is, and what you see happen all the time is, you'll see the new investors come in because they don't have any bad experiences, and they'll come in and they'll kill it. And the people who were here first, who still are letting their past blackmail their future, they'll sit there and watch as new people come in and blow up, get the recognition, get the money, and then they'll have resentment, right? And then again, it's a whole new level of negativity that you introduce to yourself when it's self-imposed and you don't have to be. Okay. So the micro habits, guys, you want to make sure that you actually take full responsibility for that. But here's some what they call pleasure and pain, right? And these are just a couple of little pleasure defaults, a couple of what I call pain defaults. And so when I say pleasure defaults, these are the things that you're doing that you're probably not supposed to be doing, or you're supposed to be doing something different. And so I'll give you examples. So pleasure default would be not working out. Okay. Pain default would be putting your clothes by the bed, do a little something. You ain't got to do a whole lot. Don't commit to a whole lot. Okay. You don't need the gym. Matter of fact, the more you do at home, the more little stuff you do at home, it'll work you all the way up to the point to where you actually go get a gym membership and actually use it. Some of y'all don't have a habit of doing anything at all. So when you go get a gym membership, you waste your money. If you go from 5 push-ups to 10 push-ups to 20 push-ups to 15 crunches to some pull-ups and to whatever it is, some walking and running to some swimming, next thing you know, you're going to see the change. You're going to feel the change. Let me say that. You're going to feel better about yourself. And you'll go get a gym membership and a trainer, and you'll show up on time. Okay? Not fixing the bed. Guys, you don't know how much fixing a bed in the morning will do for you. Okay? People who get up and they jump out the bed, they fix the bed right away. You can't get back in the bed, can't go back to sleep, right? And you have a whole lot of better, like the self-confidence about it and the proudness that you have. But fixing the bed right away does something to you. And for me, it's my wife saying, baby, thank you for fixing the bed, right? And so I like that. Jump up out the bed. I'll start fixing the bed while she's still in it. I'll fix my half, you know what I'm saying? Boom, and I'm out of there. And sometimes she'll get up because I'm fixing the bed. And so she's like, she'll get up and she'll get out the bed and let me fix the whole bed. Because she don't want to be responsible for the other half. But it's just the fact that people who lay in bed, again, you're less productive, through the day. People get up, get out of bed, get back in the bed. If the bed is sitting there and you're working from home and you're looking at that messed up bed, it ain't nothing to you to just jump right back into it. If you fixed it and it's beautiful, yeah, it's like I don't want to mess it up. It does something to you. So again, not fixing the bed. So again, Roll and fix it immediately. Roll out the bed, fix it immediately. Take pride in it. Activation day. Watching TV. That's a pleasure. Take the batteries out of the remote control. Hide the remote control from yourself. Right? Overeating or eating bad. Get rid of all the bad food. Replace the sides with salads. Right? Lock the door to the pantry or don't go in the kitchen. You got to figure it out. Listening to music, guys. Listening to music, again, is a pleasure for a lot of people. Like, I stopped listening to music for almost 4 years on purpose. And just to reprogram my brain. I had to force myself to start listening to music again. Right? Literally. And so now when I went back to listening to music, I listened to music from a different perspective. And I enjoyed it even more because, again, I'm actually listening to and thinking about the things that I'm listening to and putting everything in perspective. But when it comes to listening to music, guys, listen to personal development and business content only. Just do it for a little while. You don't have to do it for 4 years. Do it for 4 weeks. Hey, just do it for 4 weeks. Do it for try it for 4 days. If you're an avid music listener, just try it for 4 days. Replace it with something personal development wise. Replace it with some videos, audios, stuff like that, and see what it does for you. It's a cleansing process. Okay. Social media. Delete apps. Delete games off your phone. Delete apps off your phone. Like things that, if they're not making you any money, guys, and it's not what you use to communicate and connect with your family, delete apps off your phone. Okay. If you get on social media, reward yourself with social media. So you know what? Yeah, I made 50 phone calls a day. I'm gonna give myself 30 minutes on social media. I'm gonna give myself an hour on social media. I made 50 phone calls a day. I deserve it. You know what? I made 25 phone calls a day. I deserve me some Candy Crush time or some Tetris time, or whatever it is you guys play. Monetize it. If you're gonna use social media, be on social media to work. Be on social media to prospect. Right? Be on social media to make money and make a difference. Be on social media to help people, and don't get going down those rabbit holes. And I'm gonna just say right now, it was like, think about it for a second. Over the last 10, 15 years, maybe even 20 years, how many of y'all still send y'all kids outside to play? Because I don't know, that's a lot of y'all my age. But you come home you come home, and what happens is your mom say, "Boy, go outside and play," right? And you go outside and you play. Okay, and guys, again, if you want to see the full picture, make sure you go ahead and click on speaker instead of gallery. That way you can see the whole entire picture. All right. There we go. Okay. But it's things like everybody is so caught up in social media now. Everybody's so caught up with electronics and video games and electronic this, electronic that. Kids don't know how to be kids anymore. Right? We gotta again. I hate to say the word wean myself off of it or get some detox from social media, but it's taking over people's lives in a way that most people don't even know, and you don't even know how much social media affects you. But go listen to some stuff. Go to YouTube, listen to what social media does to you, and listen to what electronics do to you. And you'll have a whole entirely different appreciation for it, right? Video games the same way, okay? Just have the joystick. But these are some things, again, those are things we talk about, when it comes to the default. Anything that you're really wanting to do, you got to find a default for it. This is like if you have a to-do list, okay? If you've ever written a to-do list, put a 1 in the chat for me. If you've ever written out a to-do list, things to do, honey-do list, whatever it is, there you go. Got these ones popping up. Everybody's put list, a 1 for because they had things to do. Make sure I look at this on Facebook real quick here. Okay. Now, how many of you have ever wrote a thing not to do list? A list of things not to do. I'm gonna tell you that list of things not to do is just as powerful, if not more powerful, right, than the things to do. Because it's like, give you an example. Let me see here. I tell my sons all the time. So when I say wash the dog or you get a dog a bath, and the thing that for me, if I'm writing that list, the thing not to do is not to forget to wash the dog. Okay, and I'm basically, because of the consequences, then I put the consequences by it. Okay, so if I say I need to make 20 phone calls, okay, again, don't self-sabotage myself and get distracted or distract myself from making these phone calls today, because if I do, X, Y, and Z is my consequence. I'm always writing what not to do and what the consequence is. So when you know what the consequence is, you verbalize, you articulate it to yourself, guys, what will end up happening is you'll actually take a stand. You'll actually start to do the right thing, and you'll hold yourself accountable, for the thing that you're supposed to do. It's a lot easier, guys. Okay. And one of the things I do, because you hear me talk about it a lot, and I talk about the system. And when I look at the system, I understand how important the system is. I understand that you have people out there who believe that they're not speakers, they're not presenters, they're not trainers, and they look at people and feel like, you know what, if that's what it takes for me to be rich and wealthy, I can't do that. When in all actuality, it's not the truth. And what I want to share with you guys is the people who follow the systems, sometimes you have a percentage of those people who actually make more money than the people who you hear from a lot. A lot of people who you hear speaking, a lot of those people really aren't as accomplished as you think they are. A lot of people really are very, very good at perpetrating a fraud. Okay. And so if you actually did a whole lot of what you were supposed to learn and you actually applied the stuff that most people teach but they don't do, you can really go out there and make way more money than them. Not forget your dreams. You can make way more money than what we talk about, your goals and dreams, but you can make more money than the person who's actually speaking and teaching. A lot of people are speaking and teaching because they want to be important to people. They want to get the shine. They want to get the respect, or they want to get the, they want to get the kudos or what have you. And, for me, I've always built the system from behind the scenes. I only spoke when I had to, when it was necessary. If somebody else is better at speaking than me, I let them speak, and I support it. I invite it, I promote it, and then I let the people learn from the person who had the answers, and I just made sure that my people follow through with it. And that's how you get wealthy, because everything you have to do, guys, is already written out for you. The whole entire system is built out for you. When you look at people who come into these systems, who've been in companies like network marketing companies or multi-level marketing companies or affiliate programs and stuff like that, guys, they'll tell you there are no individually run organizations that offer what we offer and don't charge you for all the stuff that we do. You have people who are charging people $300 a month, $500 a month to be a part of their systems. And it's not even specialized information for them and the companies that they're in. There's just information they're selling because that's what they're promoting. That's how they make their money. For years, we never ever, when we did events, we did our events with pennies on a dollar. And the events that we did, and when we charged for the events, it was just enough to cover the room, if that, or cover the event, which is what you're supposed to do. When you see people who every time you look up, they got an event that they're charging from, that's how they make their money. Right? So when you hear us talk about, the system, we know for a fact that everybody's not going to get it. We know for a fact that everybody's not going to follow it. We already understand that. And so when we promote it, we promote it for everybody, but it's not for everybody. When we promote it, guys, it's for the person who's at that moment, they're looking for something and they say, I need this one thing to get over the hump, or I need this one thing to put me in a position where I can shift gears and I can go ahead and kill this thing and get my goals and dreams accomplished. And I'm looking for that one thing. And that's the person who every leader is looking for. Remember, you hear people say it, but you really don't understand it until it happens in front of you. When you see people go to events and one person just goes bananas after that event is over, and it happens at every event because somebody makes a decision at every event. And I'm gonna just tell you, this call right here, this Millionaire Mindset call, is an event. Saturday morning crash camps or events, three-way phone calls. Again, they're small events. And so you never know what event is going to trigger something for somebody. But I'm tell you, all of it's part of a system. And I said it because I want to bring up a gentleman who, when I say I got a phone, well, I actually had a conversation with him one day about the system. And he talked to me about some things that he was going through, some challenges that he was having. And I gave him some advice, and I give everybody advice, but you never know who's going to take it and who's not. But he took the advice, and things changed for him like overnight. And I'm not being facetious. I'm talking about literally, not figuratively. Things changed overnight. And so what I want to do is I want to invite somebody here to the call. Let's see here. Jeremy Dennis. Jeremy, unmute your phone for me.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. There you go. I can see you and I can hear you. All right.
All
All
right.
right. So is it cool out there in Missouri right now? Or is it
Yeah,
hot?
it's beautiful. No, it's beautiful. It's probably late upper 70s right now, I guess.
Okay.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, you send some of that Houston way. All right. But I definitely want to get you on here real quick because you're always on, you're always plugged in. And again, there's no accident, that you are having experiencing the success that you're having right now, because again, I believe that anytime somebody's on every call, and they're real serious about something, they're looking for that one thing. But we had a conversation, the other day, and it came about because you wanted to help my wife serve the team. You said anybody who needed help, in the system, onboarding or what have you, I'm willing to help them, even if they're not on my team, just so you don't have to do it all by yourself. And it touched my wife, it touched me. And I said, you know what? I want to give you a call and say thank you personally, but I also want to give you a call and say, hey, if you needed anything from me personally, you got it. And we had a conversation and we talked about some of the challenges that you were having. If you can articulate some of the challenges that you were having at that time we had that conversation as it pertains to your portfolio.
Yeah, so I was thinking I was following the system. I was calling people, I was sending invites to people. Um, and I just wasn't getting no response from anybody. The ones that respond, I just couldn't close with them. So, when I talked to you that day, I was frustrated, but I wasn't giving up. I was trying to, look at other ways that I could help our team. So that's when I started, you know, plugging in as much as I could to learn how to do everything. But I want to be a builder like Rich and Joe and you and Dr. Arlene and Marika and Carly and all them. And I'm like, I couldn't figure out what I was doing. Well, after our conversation, you said, you know, maybe you need to check into the Grant Cardone. And it kind of, I know you talked about it before, and with me being in the lawn business and talking to people and everybody, I just thought it'd be easy for me. When Rich first told me about this, I was like, you know what, Rich, I got 17, 18 people I'm calling right now, and I will, out of 100%, I thought 99% I'd be getting all of them in, and it just didn't work out that way. But me and you talked, and next couple of days, your wife sent me a message saying that she got me plugged in with the Grant Cardone and everything. And actually, it was Monday morning. I got from, is it Omi or whatever his name is, but she sent me my login information, and I started getting messages about the daily sales calls. Well, that Monday, I immediately got on it and started listening to it. And all week I listened to it. And come Saturday, we had the crash camp, and I did the role play. I was uncomfortable with the role play, but I knew that if I wanted to be successful and I wanted to follow this system, I needed to do the role play to learn it. And I did okay. I messed up, but everybody in there, helped me get through it. They did everything to make me feel welcome and everything. So right after the crash camp, I I kind of just followed everything on a PS5 that I learned. Um, and immediately after I got off the call, I called somebody, and I went through the whole thing. And she's like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll sign up tomorrow." And I was like, "Whoa, wow, that was quick."
I got that text message.
Now, yeah, yeah. So I now I put it in the chat. I was like, "Man, I just used what we learned here on Saturday," and all of a sudden, bam, somebody said responded. Well, I think the next day you sent the screenshot of your making $1,000 a day. I was like, you know what? I'm going to send that to 10 people, and I mean, I immediately sent it right out to 10 people, and my phone rang in 3 seconds. Are you kidding me? I'm like, this is for real. I said, this is no game. I said, this is nothing. I said, if you want to make money and you want to learn from or get in our group and learn stuff, I said, this place me. I said, and it was like, they was like, well, I have the money Sunday. Come down Sunday when you're down for the family gathering. I said, I'm in. And then, so I was like, wow. I was like, this is really working. So it kind of threw a light switch on of what I was kind of doing wrong, but I needed to still learn. But it helped me get over that hump. But then I had another guy, because I remember, talking. He's like, aim higher, aim higher. So I met a guy the other day. He does ministry work. He manages a bunch of Aldi stores. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to call this guy. And I sent him your $1,000 a day. I went through all our spiel. And he's like, well, I'll tell you what. He said, I might have about 20K I can invest. He said, I'm out of town. He said, but I'd like to sit down or get on a three-way call. I was like, well, I got as many people as you want to get on this three-way call. That I started thinking about the up, because we told me, he's like, use three-way call, use Rich, use Joe, use me if you need me. And I was like, okay, well, he's in ministry, and I was like, well, maybe I could. So I called Joe, and I was like, hey, Joe, you think Pastor Baylor would be able to get on with us? And because I thought maybe he could relate with doing the ministry, because he does some stuff over in the Philippines and stuff. But yeah, it's helped me out a lot just in 1 week. It's crazy. I was like, I didn't expect it to just happen that fast, but it did. And it was awesome. And I owe it all to you. But the one thing I wanted to say too is I've not only grown business wise, but I've grown personally being in this group. I take just little bits of things that you say, how you write notes and you stick it next to your wife's bed. I started doing that the next day that you said it. And she said she could tell that I've become a different man. I've become a better man. I've become a better father. I've become a better grandpa. And I owe it all to you guys and Rich and Joe. It's just been an awesome experience for me.
Well, you know what, Jeremy, let me share something with you. First of all, you don't owe us anything, bro. You had to do the work, because we give it to everybody. You owe it to yourself to making a decision, to actually do it, man. And like I said, again, you're a testament of what can actually happen if people just actually follow the system. Because when I say, hey, give yourself $1 million makeover without having a life coach, again, once you do what you got to do to get $3,000 a day going, right? Once you get to SVP, let's say you get the SVP, okay? You got $3,000 a day. That's $90,000 a month. $90,000 a month is 1 point something million a year, right? And so again, 1.8 million, whatever it is, $1,080,000, but at the end of the day, bro, it's not that hard to get rich. People just make it hard. People are getting their own way. And so I really do want to thank you for coming on, giving your testimony. It's one of the easiest testimonies and smoothest testimonies I've ever given. That's why I didn't interrupt you. That's why I let you go, because everything you said was on point. Everything you said was on purpose. And I appreciate you letting people know that all you got to do is follow the instructions. Because again, when you do that, guys, you get the results that you desire. So appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much, for jumping on and giving everybody your testimony. And we'll keep everybody plugged in, because we'll make sure we keep everybody informed on your journey. All right.
Yeah, yes, sir. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Tell Mr. I said hello. And so, guys, again, when it's all said and done, hey, you're only one decision away. when it's all said and done, what I would suggest you do is this: go do what I did. Go to YouTube. Okay, when you go to YouTube, look up. I think they have it as Many Habits. They got some on Many Habits, Tiny Habits, all kinds of ways for you to go out here and recreate. Basically recreate yourself personally. And it's real simple. It's not as hard as people think it is. And just don't look at, put too much stock in and doing it overnight. Okay. What you want to do is you want to invest the most, on the bite-sized improvements. And because the more you actually, because when you have a big goal and you make little strides, guys, you don't appreciate it. Okay. You really look over it, and you don't sit down, and you don't take time to honor your improvements. Like Jeremy just said, man, look, this is not just about money. And anybody who's been around us forever, guys, you know for a fact that it's about evolving the whole entire person. When you look at that word integrity, there's a book out there called Integrity. When you look at that word integrity, it's not just your personal character. Integrity means whole. And so when you are in an organization like this organization is working on the whole entire you, not just your money, your mind, your spirit, right? Your relationships, all that good stuff, the whole entire person. Okay. And so when you look at, again, holistic evolution, that's what this is. And so, again, it's not that hard. Write down all the things that you want to accomplish. Okay. And then reverse engineer it. Write down the amount of money that you want to earn. And then on an annual basis, and then say, okay, what is that per month? Okay. Then what is that per week? Okay. And then what is the activity I need to be doing every day? What is the income producing activity that I need to be doing every day to make sure that I get to that goal in a year? Because when you manage your days, guys, and you manage your days well, mastering your days is one of the most important things that you can do. I can just tell you right now, that people who are out here putting themselves in a position where you are now learning how to have conversations. Watch the presentations, not so you can learn how to present. Okay, that's pressure. That's terrifying for some of you guys. Watch the presentation so you can take notes and learn how to have conversations. Most of you don't understand that economics is a language. It's not a topic that you teach in college. Or in school. It's a language. People who speak that language, they know if you can or can't. Okay, your industry. Speaking about your industry, like I'm not blockchain certified, right? I'm not cryptocurrency certified. None of that stuff, guys. But I am what I am as a student, and I will learn enough information to be dangerous. Okay, I will learn enough information to go out here and be profitable. I will learn enough information to go out there and be effective, to be able to articulate to the masses what should and should not be done. Okay, and so watch the presentations, watch the trainings, go out here and just say, you know what, I'm gonna take an hour a day. So I'm gonna take an hour and 30 minutes a day, and I'm gonna listen to a presentation every day. Or I'm gonna listen to a training every day, and I'm gonna make phone calls for about 30 minutes a day. I'll make 2 or 3 phone calls a day. Whatever it is that you have to do for you, do it. Okay. Because we want to see you guys win. We really do. We want to see you guys, hit, because GM is the easiest pin in the world to hit. And it's so easy to get to $100 a day, $3,000 a month. And I'm gonna just tell you, the one thing I learned about getting $3,000 a month, if you know how to get to $3,000 a month and you can teach people how to do it, you can get to $30,000 a month. Okay. So don't watch me do it. Do it with me. Okay. Don't watch your peers do it with them. Okay. Don't always be the person in the stands cheering for somebody who did something that you were not courageous enough to do on your own. Okay. You are worth it. You get one life to live, and you should live it on the highest level, but that's got to be earned, guys. That's not going to be given to you. Okay. So with that being said, again, this is not going to be a long call tonight. I want to make sure that we, touch base on micro habits and really the mindset and how simple it is to become a millionaire. But if you have any questions, non-customer service questions, but any questions about, tonight's topic, building, the recruiting, or anything like that, Grant Cardone program, anything like that, whatever. If you have any questions, go ahead and take a moment. We'll take about 5 minutes. If we have questions coming in, if not, we'll close the call out. But put question and then put your question under it, and Carly will field it, and we'll make sure we get those answers before we get out of here. But again, getting rich is not easy. I mean, it's not a hard thing. It's, again, just getting your mind right and defeating the person who's kept you average or kept you at $250,000 a year, or $500,000 a year, $50,000 a year. Defeating that person and reprogramming that person is the hard part. The difficult part. It's not hard. That challenging part. So, Carl, if you see any questions at all?
I'm here, sir. I don't see any questions yet on Zoom. Let me check on Facebook.
And while she's checking, guys, again, the Grant Cardone program is live and kicking. Again, when you look at that skill set, the $1 million answer to a whole lot of people's challenges is skill set. Because with the skill set, you have confidence. Okay? With the skill set, you have the ability to communicate with people in a way that helps them make a decision, without manipulating them. Okay? That's the thing about the Grant Cardone program. Them, doing their thing along with us, doing ours, and encouraging people, like Jeremy said, being there to coach you through it, being there to encourage you through it, being there to give you some tips and pointers and things like that. That's where you actually win at. And I was happy because we had a lot of brand new people there. I know we had Miss Iris there. We had a conversation. We had a couple of different people that were there that I'd never seen before. And that was, again, that's always a good thing. So, but Grant Cardone program, guys, if you need more information on it, your leaders will be able to help you out with that. But Carl, you got anything?
Yes, sir. I have a question from Sarah. She says, if you call someone and they say, "Are you trying to sell me something?" How do you respond?
No, I called you because I wanted to help you. But if you already make too much money, don't worry about it. I'll call somebody else. So I don't. At the end of the day, I'm not here to sell anybody. If you have to convince somebody, guys, to change their life, you got to convince somebody to fire their boss. You got to convince somebody, to do something to better themselves, put themselves in a better position financially. You're talking to the wrong person. If you're calling people, they think that you need something from them, you should make sure you make that correction right away. Make sure that they understand that immediately, that I'm calling to help you, not help me. I'm already in. I'm already getting 1.4% a day on my money. I don't think you're doing it. Okay? So be direct, because again, that was a direct question. That was a question that was meant to take you off and throw you off your game. That was a question that's meant to attack you at the same time, to kind of get you messed up a little bit. And so you gotta strike back and say, well, I get it. If you're not looking to double your money and your investments in 60 days, 90 days, that's fine. I'll call somebody else.
Thank you, sir. I have a question that came in from Reggie, and he asks, when it comes to your financial IQ, what are the components that make it up? And then what can you do to increase your financial IQ?
Well, the best way to actually increase your financial IQ is, one, learn about the things that you're not doing, and then two, do them. And so when I look at all the things that I did, I would go to seminars, I would read, I would listen to things on YouTube. I would read books. There's a book, Increasing Your Financial IQ, by, I think it's Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, an amazing book. But there are a lot of books out there about money. I know Tony Robbins does some things on money. But again, it's just me learning, you learning. Kind of like if you look at Dr. April Rowe out of Florida, okay, and you hear us talk about UILs, and when he talks about insurance and being able to take $1 and get paid on it 2 or 3 times, right? And Dr. April Rowe, she applied that. She went and opened up a policy, and then she borrowed money from herself, right? And then she was able to use that money to invest, made huge profits while she was already making a profit off the money she had in the insurance policy. Okay? Look at Lashanique Dalcour out of California. We were having our Mogul Weekend event in Cancun, and I'm sitting there talking about using other people's money, talking about good debt. Like, some of you guys believe that debt is bad. And I can just say that's poor programming, because all debt is not bad, right? Like they say, you hear people talk about, well, cholesterol is bad. And yes, people say that's some good cholesterol out there too. Well, there's some good debt out there too. You know what I mean? So like Robert Kiyosaki said, I love debt. I want to be in debt. I want to stay in debt. I want to live in debt. And he's talking about the good debt. Like anytime you can get a loan, when she heard me talk about getting a loan from a bank and having a, let's say a APR of 12% per year, or 20% per year, or 5% per year, whatever your credit will get you. If you have a opportunity that's paying you 10% per month, okay, 3% per week, 12% per month, or 1% a day, you're gonna always 100% of the time out earn the interest that you're scheduled to pay on that loan. Now, what you got to do is be responsible and say, hey, look, I'm making this money back and I'll pay this loan off as soon as possible, immediately. Take this money and put it back where I got it from. And then I'm going to continue to make money off the money that I borrowed from them, that I have zero debt on them. Okay. And so again, basically you're taking information that's really good, credible, solid information about, finances and economics, and you're putting it to use. The more and more you put it to use, the more and more your financial IQ increases. So like, give an example, I was talking to Shirley, and Shirley had a person who was a financial advisor on the phone. And we were talking about one of our other investment portfolios. And he asked me, what am I doing right now currently, when it comes to what are some of the things I'm doing right now currently with money? I said, well, right now, currently, what I'm doing is I'm taking some money, I'm buying some CDs, and he wouldn't even let me finish. He said, hold on, so what? CDs? Why are you wasting your money in CDs? And I said, well, just calm down. Give me a minute. Let me explain it to you. Okay. I said, so I'm buying the CDs. Okay. So I can actually borrow against them. Okay. When I borrow against them, I made sure I bought the CDs at a bank that reports to credit bureaus. So they're going to report that I actually have loans that are in good standing. Even though they're secure loans, they're still in good standing because I didn't take the money out yet, but when I do plan on taking the money out, I'm going to take the money out and I'm going to put it in either a insurance policy, or I'm going to put it into an investment. Either way, I'm going to make way more money than the 7%. I'm getting 5% on the CD, which is nothing. That's not why I'm doing it. The loan is costing me 7% APR, but my returns that I'm getting is 1% a day, 30% a month. He says, oh, now I see it. I said, but there's other caveat to it. It's a new bank, a small bank. I'm building a relationship with the bankers. So I'm buying products from their bank and I'm creating loans. I'm creating a relationship. I'm doing, this is a whole entire different thing that I'm doing. And so then he got it. He was quick to judge because he wanted to test my intellect when it came to, my economic IQ. And again, what I'm doing and what you're doing are two totally different things. You're getting your people back 3 to 7% per year on their money. And we're showing people how to get that back in a couple of days or a couple of weeks. So there's no competition in this situation. But again, I can have a conversation with people, about money, and I feel comfortable with it. Even if they know more than me, it doesn't matter to me. It's just an opportunity for me to learn while I'm communicating. Okay. So a good question though, Reggie. Any other questions, Carla?
Thank you, sir. Yes, I see a question. Doesn't have a name. It says, what's a good video for newcomers to watch that are just starting from the ground up?
A new video to watch for newcomers. Well, first of all, I would definitely watch the presentation. There's nothing better than the actual presentation, the explanation of what you got your hands on. You are a board member. You are in a position where you're staking. Like if you go to Forbes and Google Forbes talk about staking, and they talk about some of the top companies that you can stake with when it comes to cryptocurrency. It talks about some of the other companies that you can stake with that are traditional companies when it comes to their endeavors and things like that. But that's important. But go and watch your presentation, because again, when you do stake, it's like you have ownership in the company. You're investing in the company. And so you want to know what you're investing in. You want to have a really good understanding of it just for your own personal knowledge. And everything else in the system will take care of itself. Like I said, just plug into everything else that you can, that we do, and we'll direct you on what to listen to next.
Thank you, sir. Chris asked, is the Cardone program purchased through Mr. Bean?
Mrs. Bean. Okay, so it can kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on here. So when you look at the Cardone program, if you were to go to Grant Cardone directly yourself, it'll probably be about 10 grand down and about a little bit close to $3,000 a month, $28.98 to be exact per month. Okay. What we did was we took it and we just basically offered it to the people for $150 a person. Okay. Now this is the thing for leaders, people who actually have groups of people or people who are growing groups. You have the Plus program, you have the VIP program. The VIP or the Plus program is $300 a month. And what that does is that gives, 5 people, including yourself, access to the whole entire Grant Cardone system, all his modules, and the crash camp calls, the daily calls they do on rally calls, where they role play with the actual, with their actual professionals every day at 9 o'clock. So you plus 5 of your people get that for $300. Then you have the VIP program where you plus 10 of your people, right, get it for $500. And so now you have Grant Cardone and us training your people for $300 or $500, or you get it for $150. You get a chance to run the whole entire system for $150 yourself personally. So your leader can get you on with Mrs. Bean, and she'll get you set up, and you'll get all your access links and everything else sent directly to you. And we'll see you guys on Crash Camp and on the daily rally calls.
Thank you, sir. I see a question from Donna. She says, when you recognize that you are self-sabotaging time by getting caught up worrying about life's challenges and get distracted, what are a few things that you would implement immediately to get back to a productive mindset?
Again, just like the thing that I talked about today, first of all, I would definitely start communicating with people who are positive all the time. I would communicate with people who are, like I said, especially people who are in business with me. Like I said, if I have a senior partner or leader, I'll get some advice from them. I would communicate with that person. Also, I will be listening to anything and everything, on social, like when it comes to YouTube. Guys, YouTube is so full of information for everything you need in any area of your life. Anything from depression, anything from positive thinking, how to build your morale, how to build your self-esteem, how to bounce back from hard losses, how to save your marriage, how to have a great marriage, how to raise your kids, just all kind of different things. And so if you just Google whatever it is you're going through, I can tell you right now, guys, that's one-stop shopping, for personal development and solutions right there in front of you. And it's so cool that there's so many different people who are doing it. You can listen to different one of them and figure out which one is for you. And what I found is that you'll fall in love with specific people. You just love their style, you love the delivery, you love how professional, how authentic they may be. And so I tend to gravitate to special people, and I kind of avoid others, but I'm always in there looking for something to get better.
Thank you, sir. That is all of the questions I see in the chats.
Awesome, guys. Well, again, next week, same time, same line, more people. Look forward to seeing you guys this week. We will have a presentation this week. I will get back with you guys. I think it may be Wednesday, and so you'll see it tomorrow, someday, somewhere in the chat. As a matter of fact, it'll be on Telegram, and it'll also be in a leadership group, and then maybe in a Facebook group. But we'll make sure you know exactly what day it is. I think it's going to be Wednesday. Don't hold me to it, but I think it's going to be Wednesday. So go out here, get with your leaders, guys. Make sure you have a game plan. Make sure you're creating new micro habits, to turn your life around. Because again, it's not too late. It's never too late, and it can turn around as fast as you commit to doing it. So love you guys. Don't know what we did to deserve you guys, but we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that you guys are empowered and you get all your goals and dreams accomplished as to the point of where we can help you get it done. So y'all take care. All right for now.
Record.